Welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Lost World. Last time we started up Tropical Coast with Zone 1 and Zone 2. We learned about something new that Drill Wisp could do, and we learned about Rocket Wisp and used it somewhat poorly. But you know what? We're moving on to one of the best levels in this game. Let's just hop right in.
I tested the blue one, and he's more powerful than I anticipated. He shows much potential.
Who cares about him? Now that I'm free, I want to squeeze Eggman till he pops!
And eat him, I suppose.
Well, yeah,
There are better ways to make him suffer.
but more delicious?
What would you say if I told you we could destroy Eggman's world and use its energy to make ourselves unbelievably powerful?
Well, I would say that I had taught you well.
Yet you have. And it will be Eggman's own creation that causes his destruction.
Embarrassing death aside, this soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal. I realized that I stayed quiet through a majority of this level and didn't talk about a lot of mechanics, but it was worth it because listening to this soundtrack is just so much of a joy. There's so many treats in here, and nobody talks about it. First of all, this song. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below so you can listen to it or add it to a playlist. It's just fantastic. And the level it accompanies, it's so beautiful. I love it. And it's a lot of fun to boot. Talking about some of this mechanically, you are riding on rails, you have to no, it's the exact opposite. You have to manually switch between rails, unlike in a lot of other 3D Sonic games, by jumping from rail to rail. This seems like it would be a big hassle, but it's actually not that bad. You kind of lock onto the rails after a certain amount of time, or once you're a certain distance away from them, so it's actually pretty simple. It's not all that bad. In 3D sections, it can get a little bit tricky. In 2D sections, you can abuse the mechanics of the game to make yourself go really fast. You saw me doing it in there a little bit earlier. It's a whole lot of fun. It's one of the main reasons I enjoy these type of levels so much. There are red rails that slow you down, green rails that speed you up. You probably noticed that. There are doors that are blocking our paths. They will have to be opened using a little yellow switch that you have to run into. That is an instant death if you slam into it, so watch out. There are also minecarts. Depending on the minecart you run into, different things will happen. You've seen that if you homing attack onto a golden minecart, you get some rings. The minecarts with some bombs in them will actually just make you take damage. But the cartoonish nukes, which you would think would be less damaging than the more realistic bombs, actually are an instant kill. So watch out there. This level's a lot of fun. It speaks for itself, especially when it comes to the music and visual design. It is just so good.
Sonic, something bad's happening.
Whoa, what's going on?
I don't know. It's like something in the sky is draining the life out of the world. Plants, animals, even the air feels cold and dead.
Okay, you guys stay safe down there. I'll try to figure out what's going on and stop it.
Yeah, the story's getting a little bit darker, but not by much. The world's life is being drained, and that's no good, so Sonic to the rescue. But before that, let's go have some fun. Was there another one? I don't think so, but it's worth check. Oh, there was, okay. 720? Huh. I was gonna say that seemed worse than the last one I did, but I guess not. Anyway, we have one more level to do in here, so let's get cracking.
Your time is almost over, rash hedgehog. I shall prepare for you a lesson in respect. A painful lesson.
Oh, someone's gonna get taken to school, all right.
Follow, if you dare.
I kind of like how even though the Deadly Six aren't all that interesting as characters, you do still, I cannot speak, you do still get to see cutscenes of them, the level before you fight them. Oh my god, what is wrong with me today? Whoopsies, alright, let's be a little bit more careful this time. But yeah, you do get to see cutscenes of the Deadly Six. It's actually pretty interesting, all things considered. I am running out of rings like crazy. Do they respawn? Oh, they do. Okay, let's, I think we just have to kill all the enemies on this platform. This game actually does have kind of a similar, I wouldn't say issue, but gimmick to Mario Galaxy, where like sometimes you have to kill all of the enemies on the screen to progress. And I didn't particularly love that in Galaxy, specifically within the context of playthroughs, because it made it a lot harder to remember exactly what to do. It was a little bit weird. This worked? Had to tilt my gamepad in a little bit of a weird direction there, but no biggie. Let's see. Pineapple, I don't think you do anything. Pretty sure you don't. Okay, do you? Oh, you run away from me, that's right. So, the Cluckers are actually a little bit difficult to kill because they go away as soon as you get close to them. But using this pineapple, they're just far enough away to the point where we can run over them very poorly. I didn't get that many in that run. Okay, let's try it again. I actually kind of like how the little pineapple fruits show you kind of what you gotta do. I don't know if that was purposeful, but it's kind of neat. There we go. Another rocket wisp to use. Oh, shucks. Okay, now we have an option. Choices. Oh, so crazy. I'll go here. Oh, this is just a ring planet? Okay. I thought they would be like legit alternate paths. I don't mind either way, because rings are actually important now. So I don't mind. I've been losing a lot of lives too. I still have 43, so you know, no biggie. But it's worth at least having. Let's go over here. Now that we've shot into this cannon, it'll allow us to use rocket again, this time in midair. It's actually a little bit frightening the first time you use rocket and like shoot into the abyss like that, because you don't know exactly what's gonna happen. You can guess because, you know, the developers wouldn't throw something right there that was unobtainable without dying, right? Right? You know, it's like, it's this little moral lesson where it's like, would they do something that cruel? And the answer is luckily no. So, no worries there. These are quite thin platforms, but you don't really have to worry about it simply because you have badniks that you can homing attack onto, and that makes the whole platforming section quite easy. Oh, okay, I was moving a bit too fast there. And now we're in a 2D section. This one is what I remember about this level. The earlier portion where we were in 3D running on those planets, I actually didn't remember that well. But now we're getting into some territory that I'm familiar with. So, right now it's just kind of basic, kind of generic. Falling into the water is an instant death, I believe, because Sonic can't swim, and there certainly ain't nothing past that point. That's very solid water. I don't think you can go swimming it in the first place, so you know. There are these trees you gotta run up. They're blocking the path. You need to run up them. That guy shoots spikes at him. Okay. Right here, we're getting to a little bit more difficult territory. It's still not all that crazy. These guys will just shoot water upwards, and it allows you to go up here, grab the 10 rings or the more important red ring. Otherwise you can die. As I was saying, you can spin dash over that whole section. It's not an overly important one. Grab the red ring, head out, you know. Here we're going to have to deal with some switching platforms. Ooh. This makes it a little bit more difficult. How do I get that red ring? I don't know. I'm not going for 100%, so it doesn't particularly matter, but it's just interesting nonetheless. These guys are kind of annoying. Let me get them out of here. This is what makes this level so interesting, and somewhat infamous, actually. We have these little round platforms, and I've heard a lot of people don't like these. I don't think it's like a really big deal, but hey, what do I know? I want to get that. I'll take as much damage as necessary. So, we have a big fish, kind of like the Big Bertha fish in Mario 64. You have to run on these platforms while ignoring that fish. You can use the platforms to your advantage, actually. You can manipulate the gravity around them and the momentum system in general, and fling yourself further using them. But the fish is what makes this really interesting. Also, having a fish like this in a 3D environment is actually pretty cool. And how they use it to make these waves, and now you have to deal with these moving spike balls. It's pretty neat. I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool, and I think having that type of killer fish in an environment where gravity plays a role is actually quite interesting. Because we've had it before in 3D Mario games with like Mario 64, but okay, this is not good. I hesitated here because I was afraid because I didn't grab the checkpoint, but it didn't really matter. So the fishes will come up on the platforms without flowers. It's a little visual. Okay, and then they start appearing on the flower ones. At first, there was a little visual indication as to when they would pop out and try to kill you, but they kind of threw that away at the very end there. A little weird, but you know, whatever. Consistency makes things too easy, I suppose. So what you want to do here is homing attack on the boss. Obviously, you want to homing attack on Mr. Zick, I think is what his name was. I already forgot from the last few episodes. This is okay, no, it's fine, okay. I was afraid that I couldn't actually aim in that direction, which made me very scared as to how this boss fight would go. I would have died 3 times in this level, and that would have been 3 times too much. But he has these fruits around him, which makes it a little bit difficult to homing attack onto. Mainly because, you know, you're going to be homing attacking onto the fruits. It makes it slightly annoying, and it makes it a little bit harder to get to him. But it's not too bad. I don't know if when they're moving faster you stop homing attacking onto them, but I do know that in the beginning at least, you will kind of aim towards them, and that can be quite annoying. Otherwise, it's not too bad of a fight. The reason I dealt with the first phase so quickly is because I did a charged homing attack. Again, how do you do it? I don't know. It just happens. I don't know the reason, because I don't think there is one. There ain't no rhyme or reason to that. But I've talked about that plenty. That's the boss. Pretty easy. Incorporates the Rocket Wisp in an alright way. I feel like they could have done a bit more with it, but, you know, I'm fine with the way this boss was. Kinda easy, though.
We have a mutual problem. One so large that it will take both of us to overcome it.
Whatever. I told you, we can handle the Zeti by ourselves.
That may be true, but the rebellious swine have gotten hold of a device of mine, and they're using it in ways for which it was never designed.
What was it designed for, Doctor?
It was supposed to extract energy from our world, but the machine is unstable. Once it reaches full power, it can't be shut off. It will drain our world dry.
Oh, so that's what Amy was talking about.
And you just want to go smash it, don't you?
Well, yeah. What? It's what I do.
Oh, always your answer to everything, Hedgehog. If you wish to create a cataclysmic explosion that will incinerate everything within 100 miles, please smash away.
So, there's no off switch?
No, not anymore. I need to get to the machine and reprogram the shutdown sequence. I'll supply the brains. You will supply the brawn I need to get past the Zeti.
Oh, and you're asking so nicely.
Good one, buddy.
Thanks.
Man up, Tails. I don't like working with my most hated enemies any more than you do, but our entire world is at stake.
Yeah, well, teaming up with you feels like the end of the world, Eggman. I'm gonna want to take a long shower by the time we're done.
That's actually kind of an interesting story element as well. It's something I do like about the story in this game, though I wish it was done a little bit better. Sonic and Eggman have a common enemy, so they're teaming up. It's not shown off very well through levels or anything. Eggman doesn't pop in and help you, or anything along those lines. But, you know, it's the little things. It's the little interactions they have, and seeing these two enemies that are finally going, that were always going up against each other, always at each other's throats, finally putting that aside for a little while to, do something for the common good. It's kind of neat. We'll see more about that throughout the story. It just doesn't, it doesn't go much of anywhere. But anyway, enough of that. Next time on Let's Play Sonic Lost World, we've unlocked question mark and an entirely new world. So we'll be moving on to Frozen Factory after finishing up the last bit of Tropical Coast. But again, that's for next time. Until then.